I do love the Sega Master System. In fact, I played a Master System before I even played an NES. I just punched the table. We have the 1-star games on the Sega Master System. Already covered the 5-star games. Funny because there aren't as many 1-star games as you would think for the Sega Master System. I'm a big fan of it, and even some of these 1-star games, are they actually 1-star? Well, from my own personal opinion and from the opinion of a couple of others as well, these are the 1-star games for the Sega Master System. And how you feeling? You got John Riggs here, huge fan of all video games, especially the retro stuff. And I know it's not for the Sega Master System, but I got my game Stack and Attract for the Sega Genesis available on my Shopify. And if you head over to my Etsy, I have some custom-made items too, like the Adventure Dragon here. Maybe you want yourself a 3D Excite bike. You can take them out of the package and they're self-standing, or you can just put them on the wall, just like I have that guy. And I have a lot more of these coming to my Etsy very, very soon. So follow me on Etsy and keep an eye out. And while we're at it, we're actually going to start this list of the 1-star Sega Master System games with the very first Master System game I ever played. Now, I don't even remember this being a Master System kiosk, but there was a Master System hooked up to a TV at least at Montgomery Ward. And right next to it was the consoles and the games just literally right there on the shelf. You just grab them and put them in your shopping cart. That's the way things were back in the mid-80s. Now, this game was very confusing for me at first because it didn't really tell you what to do or what to buy. You start off with money, but you're like, I don't know what stuff I need yet. You know, it didn't even start you off with the default stuff and then upgrade from there. It's like you already had to kind of know how to play this game before you even played this game. And the game itself was more of a Ghostbuster business owner simulator with some interactive elements along the way. A lot of driving back and forth between headquarters and other buildings that you have to exercise, I suppose. You have to kind of work in tandem with one controller back and forth to hopefully capture these ghosts here. Yes, this game did exist for the NES, and yes, the Master System version is better than the NES version. But when you take all the games that are on the Sega Master System, this is just the US list, by the way. I'm not covering all of the games that came out like in Brazil, in the UK, a much larger library there. Just focusing on the US games, you know what? We're gonna put Ghostbusters on this list as a 1-star game. As big of a Ghostbusters fan as I was, it was so hard to get into. I just wanted an action game, not a simulator. Speaking of simulators, F16 Fighter. Well, we had our fair share of, you know, flying, shooting down other plane type games on the NES, and this is what we had for the Sega Master System, and it looked like this. I've seen calculator games that looked better than this. Now, I know games are not supposed to be about graphics and all that, and that's fine. And you know what, if you use your imagination, there's some kind of cool scaling effects here too, but I don't even know what I'm doing half the time, or what I'm doing, or where I'm supposed to be going and everything. Yeah, it's cool that you can flip around and stuff like that. You know, shoot down the other planes, I suppose. But this game just felt like if the Sega Master System had a 5 1/4 floppy drive, this is the game that you would play on it. I know graphics are not supposed to be everything about a video game. I know that, but for this one, it's hard to look past that. Oh, we gotta talk about Alf? We can talk about Alf. Now, in my personal opinion, Alf isn't as bad of a game as they say it is. Much like me talking about Ghostbusters, high expectations, what could be a fun game, graphics look pretty good, you know, nice and cartoony for a Sega Master System, great. Fantastic. But it's, again, another idea where it's like not really conclusive of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. Now, yes, I am also challenging these games based on the fact that you don't have a manual. You don't have a guide, you just kind of pop in the game and start playing it. You're not going to read a thing, you'll figure it out as you go along. As many of us did, yes, we had the manual, but never mind that. As many of us did, we just popped it in and played it and figured it out. In this game, a little harder to figure out. I mean, yes, you can figure out a couple of things along the way, and, you know, obviously some things make sense, but the jumping mechanic's a little weird. When you turn left and right, it's kind of weird. I do like this creepy kind of like, you know, gonna capture you guy. Oh, good old Alf for the Sega Master System. A lot of people put this right at the top of the list for worst games on the Master System. I don't think it's as bad, but 1 star, I'll put it there for sure. We can talk about Altered Beast briefly. Now, we are at that age. We are at that time. I think it's okay for us to be honest with ourselves to say, Altered Beast was never that great of a game. It had a fun idea. I liked the concept where you can turn into a different animal in every stage. But slow moving, clunky controls. You know, yes, we all played it. You know, played it in the arcade. It was the pack-in for the Sega Genesis. Fine, it should have been Golden Axe, but okay. I mean, when it first launched anyway, when Sonic became the pack-in, that was the right idea. Before Sonic, yeah, when you first got a Sega Genesis, it was Altered Beast. Yeah, and trust me, the Master System version of Golden Axe isn't that great either. It didn't make this list. But Altered Beast, when you take a game that's actually pretty decent of a port for the arcade to Genesis, and then try to port that to the Master System, not as much. A couple of differences: you only need 2 of the power-ups to turn into your beast. This was a game I did have back when I was rocking a Sega Master System in the late 80s. Even though it was already out for the Sega Genesis, I had to see what it looked like on the Master System, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not so much. 1 star, let's call it. Outrun Europa threw me off, because Outrun, I loved Outrun. It wasn't even a racing game, it was just a casual driving game to see how far you can get, and just having a fun time. Now, Outrun Europa takes none of that element and puts it into a motorcycle game where you can also, like, punch and attack and stuff. You know, don't worry about the things on the side, like, you know, usually in driving games like this, where you, like, if you touch the poles or the bushes or something like that on the side, you die. This one you don't. You might take damage, sure. But yeah, you don't. There are police cars, you have to get past them. If you're behind a police car for too long, you'll get arrested, and that's game over for you. And if you're looking at this for the first time here, and you're saying to yourself, it actually doesn't look like a terrible game, and it's not. It's not a terrible game. I mean, yeah, the frame rate's kind of weird, but it's not Outrun. I mean, it's not even Hang On. I mean, Hang On would make more sense. It's a motorcycle, so if you had Hang On, and then Super Hang On, and then maybe you had Hang On Extreme, or Hang On with Vengeance, or... You know, to make it into another motorcycle game. But no, they called it Outrun. Why is it Outrun? Well, one part of the game that is Outrun is when you can choose your path that you need to go, but also kind of tells you where to go. So it's like, you know, you want to have the power of freedom here. Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars, another game that I played growing up. I had this on the Master System. Well, the thing you're supposed to do here, let me grab a piece of paper. You see, the goal in Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars is find the miracle ball. Find the miracle ball. Told you. Some great Alex Kidd games on the Sega Master System. The one that launched with the Master System, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, fantastic. Alex Kidd in Shinobi Land, I mean, best of both worlds. I even liked the Alex Kidd in the High Tech World, even though that was supposed to be like, it was like a princess game in Japan, but they put Alex Kidd in it and, you know, localized it. Then you have this, which you don't really look like Alex Kidd. And you don't really have, I mean, your health bar is constantly going down, you can get power-ups, and it's just not great for a game. Again, another huge letdown. Yes, I tried to play it as much as I could. Never beat this game, and I'm okay with that. Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars. It's something. It's an experience. It's a 1-star experience. What's next? Oh boy. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Okay, no, this is Global Defense. Global Defense. Imagine if they would have made, like, a sequel to Missile Command. This is that. Again, looks great on paper. You know, you're shooting these other missiles out of the way, you're saving Earth, or saving the planet here. Other things are in the way, so you're shooting them too. And you also have to move your little satellite around so you're not, you know, getting hit by these things too. That's the problem, and that's what, to me, makes this a 1-star game. It is not the concept of this game. It's actually a pretty neat game, but it's the fact that one button fires all directions, and then the other button makes you maneuver, if that makes sense. So instead of moving your cursor, you have to hold the button down to move your ship. It should be the other way around. It should be you just move freely, and then as you hold your button to fire, then you can move the cursor to where you need it to fire next, or something like that. I think if they had that, it would be much better of a game. And again, going back to the 80s, very, what was that Ronald Reagan thing called? Star Wars Project. The Star Wars Project was the idea of like, oh, we're going to put satellites in space and going to shoot down the nukes if we ever go into a nuclear war here. Didn't get that far, of course, but the first part is you're on the offensive, so you have to shoot down these missiles and these other things that are, you know, a threat to the planet. And then you're on the defensive, so then now these things are coming at you and you have to destroy them before they hit the Earth. Happens too many times, that's game over for you. Again, sounds great, but the controls make it a 1-star game. Hey, how about a boxing game? James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing. Oh, as much as James Buster Douglas was one of the best of all time, this game is not. The problem is, and this is going to be a problem with all boxing games, If it's not Punch-Out, don't worry about it. That's that's my truth. If it's not Punch-Out, don't worry about it. You're just hitting buttons at this point. You know, it's hard to block in advance. You just, you know, you're just throwing random punches and stuff like that. Hard to get anywhere with a game like this. So I'll just kind of stay here in the corner. And you can kind of charge up your thing there too, but I don't get a chance to execute it. So it's like, well, what's the point? So again, not great of a game and not the type of game that you would go back to. And while we're at it, we can put Rocky in there too. Did you know? Going back to Ghostbusters being the first game I played, Rocky was the second game I played because they had both of those available. And this one I think is a little bit better, but still very similar to the James Buster Douglas one where you're, you know, just trying to punch without getting punched back. I mean, they're like, give me a strategy. Give me, you know, boxing is a martial art. Make it a martial arts style game and not just hit them before they hit me or go for the best, you know? I don't know. Even the little training thing's not very easy in this game. It's like trying to hit the button at the right time and do the thing, and yeah, it's like, then you have to do this for like 45 seconds before you even start playing the game in the first place. So it's like, by this time, you're already done. By this time, you're just like, you just want to keep moving. Great Golf, Great Gilf, Great Gulf, Great Goof. Oh, Great Golf, sorry. Yeah, how did I mess that up? Another thing with this game, and you get to choose which golf clubs you want to use. So far, so good. Nice map. So far, so good for a golf game. And the golf game can be pretty playable. What gets me and what makes it a one-star game is this. The slow loading, again, taking it back to, you figure it's on, like, the 5 1/4 floppy. You're playing this on MS-DOS or something. Something like that. And kind of cool that you can actually, like, you know, throw the grass. Like, you basically just, you're dropping grass to see where the wind is going. There's a lot of good things going on with this game, but never mind all the things that make this amazing or make this good. It is kind of playable, to be honest with you. I just want that, we're already going to aim it for you, you just have to aim it yourself. And in this one, you just have to do your own calculations on how far you are, what kind of golf club you're going to use, where the hole is and everything like that. So you know, you can't just go maximum strength because maximum is where the hole is. Maximum strength is maximum strength. So if you don't do your own calculations on where you're hitting the ball and what club you're using and all that, then it's just going to go straight over it. So little hard here. I'll just, you know, play through this first round. Got a par, good enough, but still, even at par, one-star game. I could have used a par to subpar pun or something, but I'll let you do that. We also covered the 5-star games for the Sega Master System, so check that out. And I also did the other like 1-star and 5-star games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, stuff like that. A lot of videos on this channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.